Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. It's Michaela and we are going to talk about some books that I've currently read and start off the new vlog. This is some raspberry lemonade that is so delicious. I can't stop drinking it. But we are gonna talk about the two books that I finished. One was an audiobook and the other one was Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica, translated from the Spanish. And yeah, I finished this last night actually, and I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it was definitely a lot. I think I was like a little, I don't want to say bored is like the right word at first, but the writing style just seemed very choppy to me. Basically the premise of this is it's kind of set in a dystopian world where there's like some sort of virus that kills off like a lot of the meat that these people are eating, to the point where they have to turn to humans to eat. So they basically breed and have the meat industry of special meat that is human meat, and takes you on the process of a man named Marcos who is grieving his infant baby's death, and his wife kind of like just runs off to deal with that, on top of his father dying of old age and is just kind of going a little crazy. Not crazy, he has like dementia of some sort, I would assume, and he works for this meat processing company. And yeah, like I mentioned, the first part I wasn't loving. I just wasn't loving like the writing style. It just felt very like choppy, no pun intended. It felt choppy to me, and just really like, I don't know, like a scientific methodological writing for how they're describing like how they source the meat, the different types of meat, how it literally takes you through the process of how they process human meat into food for other people. But the second half and the ending was really good. I enjoyed it. There are some scenes that are gonna be engraved in my brain forever. Yeah, just kind of the depths people go to grieve / not grieve. And yeah, it was really interesting, definitely different. I was in a mood, not a great mood, so my reading had to be about human beings eating other humans. So that was fun, I guess. Definitely weird, different. Like, I think I mentioned this in my last reading vlog, but I had been like watching someone's video about weird, strange fiction, and I had this, and I've literally had this for like 2 years. I bought this from Powell's in Portland when I went for my birthday a couple years ago, and it's been sitting on my shelves, so I finally read it, and I liked it overall, and I'm excited for the new novel. It's either out or it's coming out in the next few months. by Augustina Bazterrica. I think it's a collection of stories, so that should be interesting, and I'd like to get my hands on that. But yeah, I really like this. And then I also listened to Paris and Memoir by Paris Hilton on audio, which I really, really enjoyed. Yeah, she's just a cool, quirky gal, and troubled teens in, not industry, but places for troubled teens, and how she got sent off, which really bums me out that her parents did that to her and just didn't listen to her. Like, if my kid ran away from a troubled teen center that they had to be shipped off to, and they ran away that many times, and every time they talked to their parents, they were like, come get me, this is like abusive, this is, you know, not okay. And the parents just didn't listen. I'm just like, Kathy, girly, not okay. So that was kind of wild to learn about, and just how long she was in these troubled teen facilities is crazy to me. And her process of trying to abolish this industry, I guess you could call it, or work on not making it a place for abuse and assault and emotional issues for and trauma for life. Like, oh my god, it's wild. But also just kind of like her fashion icon stuff, and just how she kind of just had a different like style and vibe than the rest of her family, and she was okay with that, and she's had it for since a young age, like the downtown music life, and just how prim and proper her family kind of comes off to be. But she's like, I'm buying my clothes at like downtown LA dance shops, and just, yeah, super fun. I really enjoyed it. I love Paris Hilton. I've always been a big fan of her, so listening to her memoir was really fun. So I don't know what to read next. There's a few books here that are contenders for what I want to read. It is Women in Translation Month, but I must say most of my reads this summer have been translated fiction novels, so I'm not like worried about not reading any of that, and I already just read one as well. But been wanting to get to some more Joan Didion, and I've had this for a little while now, and kind of I'm in the mood to read this a little bit. So, Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion, Master and the Margarita by Michael Bulgakov. I feel like I've seen this a little bit, but I might save this more for fall spooky season time. My first, La Spectre, which would also go with Women in Translation Month. So The Passion According to G.H. I got this back in May in Arizona, and then I wanted to get to this summer, so I kind of want to read this, and I've only heard great things about it, which everyone seems to love this. So, and I feel like this is another good summer read before it starts to get cold around here. So yeah. My father-in-law is here this weekend. He's gonna stay with us. So I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done anyways, so I could just pick that up. But yeah, I just kind of thought I would come on here, start a new reading vlog, and update you on some books that I had read. And okay, hey you guys, I'm pretty sure I'm in the same frame that I was in my last clip, but it's actually been a little bit of time since that clip because I have not filmed and I also have not read. I've not really been in the mood to film, but more so I just have not been reading since I finished Tender is the Flesh. And also, I think I was trying to pick out a new book to read, so not much progress there. But last week, or over the weekend, I went to a bookstore in Salt Lake. I think in like my first vlog I talked about how like Salt Lake doesn't have a whole lot of independent bookstores, and which is still valid, but I found out about a different one that's like a mile and a half away from me. It's called the King's English Bookshop, and it's kind of in between 9th and 9th and Sugar House area. Hi, Grim. So I thought I'd show you those, and then I have been reading one of those. I picked it up yesterday. So I'm gonna make this easy, and I should say the Neapolitan novels. You guys know I finished My Brilliant Friend, like very end of July. And I've been really, I just wanted to have my hands on it so that when I wanted to read it, I could. And this is a big boy. I was not expecting it to be this big, which is fine. I heard the second one's like even better than the first, so, and I didn't want the first one to end, so yeah. While I was there, picked up the second one. Okay. The next book I got, which I was not expecting to find, is Mothers, Fathers, and Others by Siri Husford. Don't come for me. I heard Katie James talk about this in one of her wrap-ups this year, and I thought it sounded amazing. And I don't see this book ever anywhere, like unless I were to look for it. And I figured if I can find it somewhere, I might as well pick it up. This is not something I was going into the store looking for. So I was quite surprised to find this, and I couldn't not pick it up. Yeah, Katie James had a really great review of it, and I put it like on my TBR on Goodreads like immediately. So the back says, the Man Booker longlisted author of The Blazing World displays her expansive intellect and her most intimate and probing collection of essays yet. This collection of essays move effortlessly between stories of her mother, grandmother, and daughter to artistic mothers, including Jane Austen, Emily Bronte, and Louise Borges, to the broader meaning of the maternal in a natural in a culture shaped by misogyny. Mothers, Fathers, and Others is a polymath's journey into an urgent questions about familial love and hate, human prejudice and cruelty, and the transformative power of art. This moving book is an exploration of the boundaries we usually take for granted between ourselves and others, nature and nurture, viewer and artwork, which are far less stable than we imagine. Ultimately, it is about the dangers of drawing hard and fast borders where none exist. I'm so excited that I got my hands on this. I'm really only trying to find or pick up 2 books, whatever those 2 books may be. But then I came across this book, and I have not really found it as well as the last book I just talked about. I have not really been finding it in like independent bookstores or anything like that, and I think I'm like one of the last people to get my hands on it. But I picked up Assembly by Natasha Brown. Yeah, I think this was like really talked about in like 2021. 2022 maybe. And I wanted to read it, I just could never find it anywhere, and I didn't want to order it. So I finally got it, and this is what I've been reading. I was like, okay, I've been not having a great August, and I needed something short to kind of get me going for the end of the month. And so yeah, I'm on like 40, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't love this cover. It's my little update. This will probably just be like an August monthly vlog at this point, because the vibes have been real low, and I'm just not been in the best mood. But I'm glad I got to brighten up some aspect of my life and picked up these books. I have Monsters, A Fan's Dilemma on audio right now, so I've been listening to that. It's interesting, but I'm kind of getting a little bit bored. I think I still have like 4 hours left, so I'm like halfway through. Happy Friday. It is August 25th? 25th, I think. It's Friday, whatever. And I haven't talked to you for a few days, and I slept in, to be quite honest. Don't mind the rest of my room. It's a disaster. But I had the day off this Friday, so I kind of took advantage of that and slept in. I have been obsessed with this spiced chai tea, and I've been drinking that instead of coffee lately in the morning. Yeah, just kind of been relaxing. Got up, washed my face, did all the things that you do as a human to not rot. So I have finished a couple books. I finished Assembly by Natasha Brown in like a day. It's a pretty short read. It's like 100 pages. I liked it. I kind of wish this was just like because I read it so fast, I wish I just picked this up from the library, because it was still 16 bucks. Again, like it left a mark on me. I remember it. I liked it. Premise is a woman, a black woman is dating a white man, and he invites her back home to his parents' house, who very wealthy white background, and she just is kind of going through the subtle racism and racist comments and conversations and things that as a black woman she deals with throughout the book, which was really, really interesting. I almost wish this book was like longer in a way. My favorite part was honestly like the big stream of consciousness conversation she has at the end of the book about life and being a black woman. Like last 5 pages, I was like, yes, 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 yes. I love everything that is being said. So yeah, like almost if this was in the form of an essay, I would love this even more. Or if it was longer, I would love it even more. So it's like 2 different ways. I don't know, I just kind of like wanted more because I know it was such a popular book. And I kept on, I wanted to hear more from the narrator, I guess, is what I'm saying. And since I read it so fast, I also need to get a new library card since I moved, and I know that the Salt Lake City Public Library will have so much more available. I just have not done it yet. But once I do, I feel like I will have everything at my library and I won't feel the need to buy as much. But yeah, overall, I really like this. I thought so much important things to say. And yeah, it was good. Into Monsters, A Fan's Dilemma by... I'm saying right now in this moment, but it was okay. Basically, I have heard a lot of mixed reviews about this. Non-fiction. Basically, it's just about monsters, and they are public figures, they're artists, musicians, actors, actresses, writers, and how do we appreciate their art when they're bad people? There's a lot of Andy Warhol talked about, J.K. Rowling gets talked about, and a few other people that I don't know, and some writers. There's like a writer, I can't remember his name right now, but he was like an alcoholic, but he got sober, and he was like a big talk in a lot of English classes in her college, or just in college in general at the time. I forget his name. And then he passed away, and everyone was so sad, and blah blah blah. And then it kind of starts to go into like her own personal like memoir at times. Like she talks about how she stopped drinking, now she's sober, the treatment, and talking about like how to be a good mother as an artist, and her own personal stuff dealing with that, as because she's a writer and writes for the New York Times, I think, or has in the past or whatever. So it just felt like she was kind of trying to blend a topic that is really interesting to discuss, like how do you appreciate art when the artist is not a good human being, but like I don't understand why she's trying to like tie that into herself when there's already such a good topic being talked about. So yeah, I was really intrigued, but I also like didn't fully care in this instance, in this chunk of writing about her personal life as much, I guess I would say. So yeah, that was like a little weird, because I've heard like mixed reviews about this a little bit, but I've kind of tried to stay away from looking into it until I was finished, because I didn't want to misconstrue my own thoughts. But yeah, I kind of got a similar feeling as other people that I have heard and seen talk about it, that like there was such a good idea here, but it's almost like she didn't know how to keep going with it, so she started talking about herself, to me. So yeah, I don't know, do you appreciate the monster when you like their art? So never got a clear, like, not saying that she needs to tell me how to feel about it, but just like I never got a clear feeling of how to go about that from the book as well. So I think my first clip in this vlog, I pulled out a stack of books. I think it's a stack of books that are on my book stand, and I wanted some Joan Didion in my life. I saw someone's vlog, I think, and I was like, okay, I want to read some Joan Didion, because I kind of am down for slouching towards Bethlehem. So, oh wait, I was watching Katie James and her like covers, her talking about covers or whatever that tag is, and she was showing off her Joan Didions, and I was like, you know what, I haven't read some Joan Didion since like the beginning of the year. I don't even know if I've read any this year. This might be my first Joan Didion of the year, and I'm loving it. I am on the third story, I think. The first story, Some Dreamers of the Golden Dream. That one, it was so good. I was eating that story up. Writing is amazing. And then yesterday I on Libby, I got The Idiot by El Fatman loan, and I was like, you know what? Let's finish this thing. Let's finish The Idiot. So I'm listening to it up until the point of spring, because I was literally 2 pages away from part 2. Or, sorry, at least part 2. When I paused, I think I talked about this in my last clip. I don't remember. I was over halfway through, and I just never picked it up again for whatever reason. And I'm so close to being on part 2. Yeah, literally 2 pages away. So I'm going to listen up to part 2, and then I'll probably just finish reading from there. And I got like 2 hours into it yesterday, and I don't know, it's either the narrator of the audiobook, I'm not loving her, and so it's making me like, this is what I'm reading right now. It's just like, it just feels so choppy in a way, listening to it, but I'm like keeping up. Like, it's not like I don't know what's going on or anything like that, but it's just so like, so that just like remind me of being 18. And I mean, I didn't have the most traditional college experience of my life, but like, I didn't go to like dorms or anything like that my first year, so it's just like fun to like listen to the cute little talks that they have like about their dorm situation. So it's like I'm liking it, but somehow I think it's just like the narrator, the way that she's reading is just so like bothersome for me. So hopefully I can get past that. But yeah, I've been doing that. Been in a really big like bookish mood lately, where I'm just like reading, which is great. Loving what we're reading right now. I work all weekend, so I have early wake-up calls Saturday and Sunday, but I think tonight we might go grab a drink with some of my fiance's friends, because one of them is like leaving their work. So I might go do that tonight and hang out this weekend. We don't really have that many plans, which I'm kind of excited about. Hey everybody, I am realizing I never closed out my last video. I have not finished The Idiot, and I have not finished Slouching Towards Bethlehem, so I don't really have more to say about those two. This vlog is long enough about me rambling about shit, so I'm gonna finish this off, and then we'll start a new vlog finishing both those 2 books and go from there. Okay, bye.